Good morning and happy Father's Day to so many of you amazing fathers out there. I know as a soon-to-be new father, I have so much to learn about that journey and changing diapers and so many other fun adventures with it. And frankly, while I'm not nervous, I am really, really excited. I am going to be a new father in about 7 to 12 days, most likely. Who knows? The baby will be here when she wants to come, right? But one of the things that I was thinking about is, like in my business, I want to be intentional about like what I do, how I show up, what energy, what intentionality. And I know just in practicing so many things around, the laws of success and just speaking specifically and manifesting into your life, like you want to ideate and you want to be clear and powerful. And I was like, hey, all right, what can I be clear and powerful about as a future father? Like, how do I want to show up? What do I want to speak into existence? Obviously, when you do an affirmation, many of these things are not there yet, but you want to have that as your vision. Your vision carries you forward, right? And the power of affirmations, first, learning from Tony Robbins, that I learned from him in my mid-20s about the power of affirmations, and it really shifted my world. And I love affirmations, and it's one of my daily rituals that I've had for many, many years of just speaking them into existence in the powerful present tense. But it's Father's Day, and guess what? Father's Day is a rough day for some people, just like all holidays. Let's be honest. A lot of holidays, they can be rough because unfortunately families are fractured and families have pain and hurt and wounds that are often not healed, right? There's brokenness in my family. There's brokenness in many of your families that we all want, many of us at least want to see healed. But sometimes it takes time and sometimes it doesn't happen, right? So fatherhood is also, I feel like there's a little bit more of a stain of sorrow on fatherhood, where men for years, especially as we've transitioned into, let's call it a more egalitarian society, sometimes men haven't known how to handle things, and how to be present as a man and how to not be, toxic emotionally, and how to be aware and connected to our feelings. And so there's a lot of things happening right there. But besides all that, I'm like, hey, how do I want to show up? What do I want to show up? And that's the power of affirmations. So I'm going to read and share some of my affirmations. And then I would love to hear from you, some of your affirmations, some of your declarations of how you want to show up in life, and specifically as a parent or father. Some of the people that have done these affirmations, as I mentioned before, Jim Carrey wrote out, hey, I'm going to earn $10 million for a single movie. And he eventually did with, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, right? Or Ace Ventura. I can't remember which one. But I'm going to share some of my affirmations. And the beauty of affirmations is you write them out in the powerful present tense or past tense. Like, I've already accomplished this, okay? And it speaks things into existence because our words are our commands. Our words have power. They have magnetism, all right? So I'm just going to run through some of mine, and I would love to hear some of yours as well, all right? Deal? Here we go. I'm a loving and devoted father who makes his daughter feel loved, supported, and believed in. Actually, by the way, this is the first time I'm reading these out loud as well. And one of the cool things about speaking them out loud, affirmations, when you speak them out loud, they have more energy, they have more magnetism, they have more power. And it's also, they're more likely to happen. You're more likely to show up that way. Okay. So as I'm writing these, I'm a total newbie at this fatherhood. Now we're studying, we're learning all these things. Like, I'm reading books and I'm learning from other fathers, and I've been observing fatherhood for a while, and then I've been connecting with my nieces and nephews. But obviously, it's a very different thing, right? Being your own father, but you want to speak them out loud with power and magnetism. I literally at 6 a.m. in the morning, even today, it was a little after 7, but I went in the bathroom, shut the door, and spoke these out loud, spoke out my affirmations. But this is the first time I was speaking out my fatherhood ones. So that's the first one. Second one, I continually expand and help my daughter grow, helping her see the richness of the world and beauty of various cultures. That's big value for me, right? Seeing how beautiful and magnificent this world is. And for my wife as well, I'm a loving, supportive husband who demonstrates some of the highest ideals of how my daughter should be honored. Right? So, values are more caught than taught. So that's something for my wife and I. We want to demonstrate a healthy relationship so she and other future children, depending on what comes forth in the future, right? We want them to see that. We want them to experience our love and be invited into it, but also see that we prioritize that. So 4, I am a loving, tender, and strong, healthy, masculine presence in my daughter's life who helps her feel respected and appreciated in her feminine essence while knowing it's healthy and good to be attuned to both energies no matter your sex, right? Like healthy, like as a masculine man, I want to be connected to my masculine essence, but also I can tap into my feminine, and it's okay, and it's safe, and it's good. Now, if I'm living and leading continually from my feminine, I'm leading out of place because that's not my home, right? Same thing if you're a feminine woman, right? And you're connected to your masculine. 5, I invite my daughter to find where her deepest areas of genius and passion meets the world's deep needs. And I invite her to use her gifts to serve others and make this world better in her unique way. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to show up. That's what I want to create an environment. Number 6, I call out her greatness with love, tenderness, and toughness. Not letting her play small, become filled with shame or ego, but to shine brightly, free of the judgment of others. Okay? 7, I give my daughter the gift of my presence. I intentionally connect deeply, getting into her world, finding the play in life. One of my favorite things with my nieces and nephews is to play, and I love connecting and getting in their world, at least for those moments, right? I help. Number 8, help her see failure not as something to be avoided. One of my favorite examples, Sarah Blakely, not as something to be avoided, but something to be embraced as it's learning, growth, and feedback. It takes courage to fail and to move forward. One of my favorite examples of parenthood, Sarah Blakely's dad used to ask her and her brother at dinner pretty much every single day, what did you fail at today? So it created a culture of appreciating and embracing that failure has some gifts, some lessons. Now she's one of the world's most successful women, has a good marriage, has all these other things, is devoted to motherhood as well. But she embraced failure as feedback, as growth, not as something to be feared, right? Number 9, I raise my daughter to be fair-minded, considerate, and thoughtful with social justice issues, environmental concerns, matters of faith, politics, and health. That's something for my wife and I we're very conscious of, and is value for us, is to help her be, let's call it democratic, understanding, and considerate, right? 10, I cultivate a spirit of playing big in life, learning to love deeply, to forgive quickly, to not judge, to savor the richness of life while not being controlled by toxic fears, traumas, and judgments of others. Certainly something central for us. 11, I'm continually grown as a father, husband, protector, provider, showing my daughter and family that you've never arrived. You're always learning and growing. All right. Growth, learning is huge for me. There's so much we don't know. I'm obsessed with learning because I want to learn. There's so much more to learn, and so many ways to grow, right? And there's also a lot of joy in it. Number 12, this is very important for us. My wife and I protect our date nights and couple time, hence household help no matter what, right? And show our kids, my example, that our marriage is something to be protected, nurtured, and enhanced. Sometimes people lose their marriage in parenting from what I've seen. Obviously, I haven't been a parent. I don't know how hard it's going to be. I know there's going to be plenty of hard moments, but that's something we want to be intentional about. Number 13, my wife and I show our daughter that our purpose is not to be safe, but to serve. So just having that inward attunement, but outward focus. Okay. 14, I refuse to tolerate half-heartedness, living by excuse, and invite her to play all out in her one and only life. So we've only got one life that we know of, right? So let's go for it. 15, I show my daughter how to live by faith, not by fear, connecting with God's unique purpose and path for her life. Number 16, I'm quick to listen, quick to forgive, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So that's how I want to show up. And then, you know what? Lastly, if you guys are a father or mother ahead of me on this journey, I would love to hear from you. Give me some comments. Let me know what resonates, and share a piece of wisdom. What's worked for you, and would love to know. Let's see. And then lastly, just as I'm grateful that I have a good dad. Not everyone has that, and I consider that a privilege. And so I know Father's Day is a little rough for some people. But that's something that's really important for me, is to learn and to show up as a good father, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. I'm going to do a YouTube video about this as well, because sadly, when I did a Google search, I found almost 0 videos, articles, or examples of fatherhood affirmations. Now, maybe people aren't searching for those, which it doesn't sound like there's a lot of searches for them either, but there's a lot more for moms. I think we should change that. I think there should be more for dad around that. So that's my heart, my spirit. Have a beautiful Father's Day, whatever is going on in your world today. Much love. See you soon.